This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance, it covers all the four types of inheritance: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, and multi-level inheritance, hierarchy inheritance. All these four combination will be covered in the hybrid inheritance. In a single inheritance, okay, the single inheritance should have a single parent and single child class. You should have. If the child class inheriting all the properties of the parent class, then you can say it's a single inheritance. Next one is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance will have the two parents, one child class inheriting the properties from the both parent class, then we can say it's a multiple inheritance. If a child class is inheriting the property from the both parent, then we can say it's a multiple inheritance. Third one is multi-level inheritance. The grandchild will inherit or derive the properties on the child class, and then the child class B will inherit the properties from the A class. It's forming the multi-level inheritance. Like from grandpa, father will come. From father, child will come. Like that, we're going to follow the multi-level inheritance. Okay, and then the last thing will be the hierarchical inheritance. For example, we have a individual parent. For parent, we have multiple childs. If you all the child trying to inherit the properties of a single parent, then you can say it's hierarchical inheritance. Each child will try to inherit the properties only from the parent, then we can say it's a hierarchical inheritance. If all these four combination comes under hybrid inheritance, hybrid inheritance supports both single, multiple, multi-level, and hierarchical inheritance. Okay, now I'm going to show one implementation. For hybrid inheritance, I'm going to show three examples. Today, I will show two examples. Tomorrow, I'll show one more examples. What is the diamond problem? I will discuss tomorrow. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to create one. I'm going to create one directory. In the directory, I'm going to get one more subdirectory. I'm going to name it as hybrid inheritance, and then I'm going to keep one py file. What we can keep, like blood relationship. Blood relationship. The py file name I kept as blood relationship. Okay, now I'm going to show a simple example how to implement the hybrid inheritance. Okay, now we will take a blood relationship like from grandpa, and then father, mother, and then we have a child. I'm going to create one class called grandpa. Class called grandpa. In the class, I'm going to have a constructor. You need to call the magic methods. Okay, and then I'm going to print simple example. I'm going to print grandpa. And then I'm going to have one method. I'm going to name it as print message, and then the first argument is going to instance, and then I'm going to print I am a grandpa. I am the grandpa. Okay, and then see in the same py file going to have different classes, because yeah, we can create different py files, and then you can create your classes. But for your understanding, what I'm trying to do, in the same py file itself going to create different classes. Now the next class I'm going to create father. Father is going to derive or inherit the property from the grandpa. What is father? The father will be grandpa only, right? I'm going to father is going to derive or inherit the properties from this grandpa, and then going to have one more constructor, and then what I'm trying to do, going to print, going to keep f. F means father. F means father, and then if I want to call, see here, if I want to call the print message, okay, I'll do like this. Instead of print, I'm going to give return. Return, I am the grandpa. If I want to reuse this print message in my father class, what keyword I want, what function I want to use, not keyword, what function I want to use. If I want to reuse this print message in my father class, though the grandpa is having the print message, right? Now, if I want to reuse this print message in my father class, what function I have to use? The previous class we discussed, right? What function it is? Super function. Super function. What you have to do? Super function dot print message. What will happen? So father who is a parent, grandpa is a parent, right? Then it's going to instead of providing the class name, see you can provide a class name as well. You can put directly like this: grandpa dot grandpa. You can put. If you don't know who is a parent at the time, you can use the super function. Super function is going to refer the parent class properties. Parent class property means it's going to take the print message, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to reuse this constructor. I want to reuse the grandpa constructor in my father class. How we can do? I want to reuse this constructor. What I can do? What function I have to use? Super function you have to use. Super function, and then you have to use the init method. It's going to refer your grandpa constructor. Going to reuse a constructor in the father class. That's what we can say. And then I'm going to print father, and then I'm going to have one more method, leave as it is, and then going to have one more class, mother. For your mother, who is a parent? Grandpa, right? Grandpa. Okay, let it be. Now I'm going to have one constructor. I'm going to type M for mother. Okay, comma. If I want to refer, if I want to reuse this method in my mother class, what I can do? If I want to reuse this method in my mother class, what function I have to use? Super function you have to use, and then you have to print message, and then I'm going to type, and then if I want to reuse the constructor, what function I have to use? I want to use my grandpa constructor. What function I have to use? Super function you have to use, and then you have to use the init. It's going to refer your parent class properties, and then I'm going to type print mother. then last class will be child. Though it's here hybrid inheritance, it should cover the all the four types of inheritance, right? Now you can able to see as of now we have seen single inheritance and then multi-level inheritance. Okay, now we're going to see multiple inheritance. How you do the multiple inheritance? How you do multiple inheritance? One child will have two parents, right? Father and mother. It's called comes under the multiple inheritance. If you are trying to inherit properties from grandpa to father, then we can say it's a single inheritance. Single inheritance. It falls as single inheritance, and then you can see next one is fourth one is hierarchy inheritance. Because we have only one parent, we are trying to inherit the properties of father as well as mother. It comes in higher inheritance. And second one is multiple inheritance. You can see here in the child class, I'm trying to inherit property from both parents, father and mother. It's called multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. Now I'm going to create a constructor for this. And then I'm going to print the child, right? C stands for child. And then super. Can I able to access method in my child class? There was super function. You have to say, can I able to access this print message in my child class? I'm asking you, I want to reuse this print message in my child class. You can able to access because those child is inheriting property from father. Father inheriting property from grandpa. This grandpa is having the method called print message. I can able to access the method inside the child class because child is inheriting property from the father. Father inheriting properties from the grandpa. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do, you have to say for which class I want to create an object. For which class I want to create an object. If I want to inherit all the properties of father, mother, and then grandpa, for which class I want to create an object. I want to create an object for parent class, for father class, or mother class, or grandpa, or child class. Okay. What I'm trying to do, I'm going to reuse my parent class constructors. Though my child parent is father and mother, from the both the classes, from both the parents, I'm trying to inherit the properties, and then I'm going to print child. Okay, now if I want to inherit the properties from the parent as well grandparent, I want to create object for only for child class. Object underscore one equal to child. Okay, for example, if I want to call this method print message, what I can do, print object underscore one dot print message. Like this way you can able to access your grandpa properties because child is inherited from what is the father, father tried to property from the grandpa, right? Okay, before running the script I'll command this line. If I execute the script, what will be the output? Because for the child class, we're going to get a constructor. What happens once you use this bracket? Your constructor will be invoked, and it's going to print some message, right? It's going to print some message, and then 22nd line it's going to call the your father and mother constructors. In that father and mother you have use the print message, right? And then in your father you are used again one more super. It's going to for your grandpa. The grandpa is having some print message, right? It's going to print grandpa. Now you have to say the output, what the output you're expecting. First you going to create a constructor child class, and then this line is printed. After that it's going to invoke your father and mother constructors parallelly, and then it's going to print this message, and it's going to print this message, and then finally it's the both father and mother is going to call the one more constructor, grandpa constructor. The grandpa constructor you printed a message called grandpa, and then finally it's going to print the father, mother, and finally it's going to print the child. Now run the script. You can able to see all the things. First, it's printing this message because we are creating an object and calling constructor. It's going to print C, and then it's printing C. I am the grandpa. Okay, this is not the actual result. What I can do for understanding, I'm going to use only super keyword. Okay. Because child is not a grandpa, right? C stands for child. C is not a grandpa. That's why I use super. Okay, and then remove this print message in father and mother as well. Okay, if you run the script, it's going to print C. C stands for child. C is a class, right? It's class is nothing but child, and then creating a child object, and then the child referring to super. Super is going to refer to father and mother. Okay, and then it's printing the C, and then it's going to call this constructor. It's going to call both father as well as mother, right? In father we have used print of F. F means father, and then it belongs to father class, and then though I created object only for child class, and then it's referring the super. Super means it's referring the grandpa, and then it's going to parallel going to call the mother as well, class mother, and then for child only I created object, and then it's referring the super. Super means it's again referring the grandpa. Okay, and finally, what happens? This super unit is there, right? In father and mother, it's going to call the grandpa constructor. The grandpa constructor, the message is called grandpa. That's what is printing grandpa, and finally it's printing for this father, and then its mother, and finally it's going to print the child. This is how a hybrid inheritance works. Now you have to say out of four types of inheritance, this example falls under which inheritance? Whether it falls in single inheritance or multiple inheritance or multi-level inheritance or hierarchical inheritance. You have to say. I'm asking question to you. Out of four inheritance, this four inheritance combination will be a hybrid inheritance. Now I give an example for you. In this example, all these four types of inheritance is covered or not. This example falls under which types of inheritance? It falls under single inheritance or multiple inheritance or multi-level inheritance or hierarchical inheritance. You have to say. First one, take for single inheritance. You can see grandpa is a parent now. Don't consider this class. Grandpa is a parent. and then father is going to child, right? Now only one parent, one child. What kind of inheritance it is? It falls under single inheritance. Single inheritance. Now, don't consider grandpa. Consider you have two parents. One is father and is mother, and then child is inheriting property from both father and mother. Now it falls under multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance, and then now don't consider child class. As the grandpa, father, mother. Okay, from father inherited property from grandpa and mother inherited property from grandpa. Now, what kind of inheritance it is? It is multi-level or hierarchical. It will be a hierarchical inheritance because I have only one parent and then two childs. For grandpa, these are the, two childs. Okay, like this, you have to keep, and then falls under the hierarchical inheritance. Okay, but this example does not cover multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means grandpa after the father are a child. Okay, then only it covers under multi-level inheritance. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This example does not cover the multi-level inheritance, but it covers the combination of three. Then we can say it's a hybrid inheritance. Now I'm going to show one more example for you. I'm going to keep some name. What name we can keep? We can keep, okay, the file name is four wheeler. I kept the Python file name is four wheeler. Okay, I'm going to keep the classes vehicle. Okay, it can be any kind of vehicle. Okay, it can be a four wheeler. Okay, now I'm going to have one constructor. In the constructor, in a vehicle, what is the first parameter you will decide? Model. Any kind of four wheeler. What will you ask? What's the model? And then what will you ask? Mileage. And third, you'll ask the price, right? Any kind of vehicle, you'll ask what's the model, what's the mileage, and what's the price. Now, I'm going to use some variable model equal to model. The argument I assign to a variable called instance dot variable name. It's variable name actually. Instance dot variable name, and then self dot mileage equal to mileage, and then price is there, right? Self dot price equal to price. Now, though it's a vehicle class, I'm going to have one more method. It's going to show the details. Show details. And the first one should be an instance. And then I'm going to use a print statement, external formatting. I'm going to print the model number. Self dot model. Self dot model. Self dot model. And the same thing I'm going to print for price as well as print for mileage. Control C and then Control V, paste it, and then make it as mileage, and then self dot mileage, and then price. Change here it as price. Reformat the file. Okay. Now I'm going to keep uh, what I can keep. Yeah, I'll do one thing. Instead of four-wheeler, I'll refactor it and change, rename as four-wheeler and two-wheeler. Okay, I keep the five file name like this. Now I'm going to create one class. What class? I'm going to create a class called bike. For bike, who is the parent? For bike, who is the parent? Vehicle is the parent, right? Vehicle is the parent. I want to you going to inherit the property from the vehicle class. Okay, just copy and paste. What I did. Okay, now I'm trying to inherit the properties from the vehicle class because bike is a child and the vehicle is a parent. Now we're going to create one more constructor. Define init, and then I'm going to have like model, mileage, and then price, and then for bike what will ask? Tire, what kind of tire? Okay, and then the cc, it's 100 cc or 150 cc or 200 cc. You'll ask what kind of cc, then only can decide the price, right? You're buying some bikes, you'll ask what's the model, what's the mileage, what's the price, and what kind of tire they're using, and then what's the cc, 150 cc, 100 cc. Okay, and then what I'm trying to do here is I want to reuse my parent class constructor. What function I have to use? I want to reuse a parent class constructor. What function I have to use?
Super. Super function.
Super function you have to use. Super function you have to use, and then you can call the init. In the init you have to pass apply the three arguments because you are using the constructor in child class, right? So what you have to do, you have to put model, mileage, price. Still two more arguments are not used, tire and cc. For that you have to assign to a variable. The variable are going to keep same variable tire. What are the arguments I pass it? Same variable are going to keep tire, and then self dot cc. It's 150 cc or 100 cc, like that. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to have a comment line. Inherit behavior. Going to inherit means I'm going to inherit all properties. Sorry, behavior. BHAVIOR. Behavior, and then I'm going to override. It's a new term for you. You might ask what is override. Override is nothing but in the parent class I have the same method name, but the implementation is different. You have same method, same argument. If any method is having same argument, same method name, same return type, but functionality is different, then we can say it's overriding. Now I'm going to have an example. It's an add method. Add method. Okay, I'm going to make it z equal to a plus b, and then return c. So return z, and then I'm going to have one more method. Same method. Z equal to a plus b plus c. Return is it. Look at this method. Method name is same. Return type also same. Return type also it's going to same. It's going to give a integer object. What about the implementation? Implementation different. Then we can say it's a overriding. Overriding. That's what I'm saying here. Here in the parent class, vehicle class, I have showed this method. I'm going to override this method. Method name should be same. Run type also same. But implementation is different. Then we can say we're going to inherit the properties and then we're going to override whatever available in the parent classes. Now we're going to see here. Just we're going to copy this method. Paste it. Okay. Now we're going to say only implementation. Implementation, what I'm going to do, I will remove all these things. We'll give same method name as well as argument. And then if I want to use this function inside the show details, what function I have to use? I want to use a super function or show details. Okay, and then print. We'll do one thing, just copy and then paste it. And then I'm going to use like CC and tires. Tire. And then you're going to make it a tire. Copy and paste and then make it a CC, right? Make it a CC. Yeah, copy self.cc. Then here also try it as CC. Now look at this method. Method name is same. Arguments, instance same. But see the implementation. It's different. Then we can say it's a overriding. If any of a parent class having the same function name as well as argument also same, return type also same, but functionality is different. But see here, they are implementing for different functionality, model, mileage, and price. But I am implementing for tire and CC. Implementation is different. Okay, then we can say it's a overriding. Okay, we are good to go now. Okay, class bike you can try it. Now I'm going to have one more method, rating. First is going to instance. For bike, I'm going to give the rating as 4-star rating. 4-star rating. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have one more class called car. I'm going to inherit both the classes, bike class as well as the vehicle class. Then falls under which inheritance? It's going to falls under multiple inheritance. Bike, comma, vehicle. And then I'm going to have one more method. I'm not going to have any constructor for this. I'm going to have directly method rating. Now you have to say I'm using same method. What are present in the bike class? It is overriding or overloading. In the parent class, I have a rating method. Argument is same, but implementation is going to be different. Falls under which category? Overloading or overriding?
Overriding.
Overriding. See here, overriding. Okay. See here, the input is different. Here is 4 star. Here is going to be 5 star. You can write any logics, but the method name should be same as well as argument should be same. Data type should be same, but implementation can be different. Okay. Now I created multiple inheritance. I have two parents. One is bike parent and vehicle parent. I'm trying to inherit all the properties from the both the classes. Now I'm going to create an object. Now I'm going to create an object for a bike class. How will you create a first in the instance? I'm going to keep Bajaj, and then I'm going to create the object for the bike class. The bike class. What are the arguments I want to pass? You want to pass model, mileage, price, tire, and CC. I'm going to pass like aviator. Okay. Bajaj. Okay. I'll keep some other name. Can you say Bajaj bike names? Any names? Mm, okay. Give some names. Aviator. And then second argument I want to pass mileage. It's going to give 40. And then the price is going to be 1,45,000. In strength 100,000, 10 lakhs. Okay, let it be. And then tire. Okay. I'm going to keep some more count like though it's a our bike is having only 2 tires. Okay, you can keep two. And then CC. It's 500 cc. Assume that it's 500 cc. Now create the object for the car class. How will create object? Instance data and then car. And how many arguments you have to pass for car? Car, how many arguments you will pass? It's trying to inherit the properties of both parent class, vehicle and bike classes. How many arguments will pass? That's my question. Okay. You have to pass the 5 arguments you will pass. You have to pass the model, mileage, price, tire, and CC you have to pass. As well as if you pass 5 arguments, this model will be there, and mileage and price also will be there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is for a car, I'm going to pass Safari, and then second argument I want to pass as mileage. I want to pass mileage. Mileage is going to be 25 kilometer per hour. Third will be how much price. I am keeping it 20 lakhs. It stands 100,000, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Now I want to pass the tires. It's a 4-wheeler, 6-wheeler. Okay, and then I'm going to pass the tire as 4. Finally, I'm going to pass what cc? 2000 cc. Now I create the object for the both bike class as well as the car class. I'm creating object for the both bike class as well as car class. Now you going to say I want to call the method. What method I have to call for bike? I want to call the show details method. I want to call. I will call the method Bajaj dot show details, and then for car we have instance data dot show details. And then if I want to get the rating for both bike and car, how do you have a method? Rating. And then for Tata, rating. If you run the script, it's going to print the informations. Model equal to aviator, mileage equal to 40, price equal to 1,40,000, tire equal to cc equal to 500. And then for car, model equal to Safari, mileage 25, price equal to 20 lakhs, and the tire equal to 4, cc equal to 2000, and then rating for bike will be 4 star, and then for car will be a 5 star. Now, hold a minute, like as well as car and bike. Yeah. Now, I am creating an object for the bike class, but calling the show details method. Show details method. What will happen? It is going to create a object for this particular class. Whenever you use instance dot method name, it's going to call that particular method and going to print the details. This is how you are able to implement the hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Now, the last question will be, in this example, out of 4 types of inheritance, what kind of inheritance is involved? It falls on single level inheritance or multi-level inheritance or multiple or hierarchical inheritance. You have to see. If you consider first two classes, you can say it's a single inheritance. Single inheritance. And then if you consider the class car, you can say it's a multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. In this example, I used only two types of inheritance. One is single inheritance and multiple inheritance. Out of this four, if you use any two combination, then we can say it's a hybrid inheritance. You can use all four. You can use any. You can use more than one. That comes under hybrid inheritance. I'm going to sign up the session right now, and then tomorrow I'm going to show one more example in hybrid inheritance. In that, I'm going to show the diamond problem. What is diamond problem? How to overcome the diamond problem using this hybrid inheritance.